Welcome to the Overachieving Shit Show. I am your host, Dr. Kate Rodriguez. And remember, as a disclaimer, I am a therapist, but I am not your therapist, at least not right now during this hour. This is for entertainment purposes only. So I am so excited to have my friend, fellow Latina Libra here today, Clarissa. And this is not your first time in the office.
It is not. No, I've been coming here since I was 15 years old. I love it here.
So we are glad to have Clarissa Seda and all her different personalities here today.
All of us are here. We're all present today. I left Psycho at home, but the rest of us are here.
If she shows up, it's okay.
She might.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So if you had to guess, how many interviews have we had together?
It's interviews together?
Like, you've probably interviewed me on Coastal Living.
Right.
I would say 10.
Yeah, we're probably at about the 10, 15 mark. We were on a roll there for a minute.
We were. And so this is my first time to be able to ask you questions. It's really exciting. I love this because usually we show up.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, we're talking about mental health. And I'm like, okay.
I know a little bit about that. Yeah.
And then
go for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So today, Adriana, our producer, was like, can you at least write down a couple questions? Like,
please, for my sanity.
Yes, no, I do.
Is this a Libra thing? That we're just unorganized and on a whim?
And not make decisions?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll get into that conversation because I heard something interesting about the inability to make decisions.
Really? And I have rapid fire questions at the end, and one of them was about decisions because of the Libra-ness that we are. But yeah, I do feel that we have a lot of personality traits that are similar, and everyone always says it's because of the Libra thing, but I don't think either of us really know.
Right. I mean, I know enough about what it is to be a Libra, but I do associate it with like people whose birthdays are very close to mine. Like you can be an October baby, but you and I are 2 days apart. You and Jackie from MAC, Jackie Rocher, Annika's mom, her too.
So so people with the very close.
Yes, have similar characteristics like the carefree personality and the love for art and color and chaos and equality and like really seeing all the perspectives to almost like a paralyzing point where I feel like I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and try to see all the different perspectives.
Like they might have just made a mistake. They didn't do that to hurt me.
Yes, which I'm married to a Taurus who is very black and white. So when it comes to that, he's had to soften up a lot to understand my perspective and realize like we don't all see through the same lens.
That makes sense. Also, our former DA, Martin Gonzalez, has the same birthday as me. And there's a lot of shit showing this. Like, okay, you talk about how we don't prepare for interviews. You should see me on the stand with him. Like but it vibes. Like you kind of, I feel like we catch a wave, and there's definitely off days where I cannot get the wave. But most of the time, I can come in unprepared for something, and I just like... As long as it's something in the realm. Yeah. Outside of that realm, I always tell people this, because obviously I'm very like outgoing and social and all those things when I'm in a safe space. But I've noticed, and maybe it's as I've gotten older, maybe it's COVID, or maybe just who I am as a person now, but like in a network setting now, if I don't have like a safety person, I kind of go into my shell. Really? Or I become like conversation paralyzed, where I want to skip the small talk, but I know I have to get through that to get to know somebody. And I'm like, hi, what's your name? And I like run out of things to talk about, which is very unlike me. That is very unlike you. Maybe it's just out of so many years of doing it. It's just like, ugh. You don't want to force it. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I now only want to be around people I can be completely authentic with. Very much. I'm super in that era of my life right now where there's events and I'm like, I know this would be a great opportunity, but is it going to fill my cup in that way, or is it going to drain me? Because there's enough things that are draining my energy where if it's going to be a social interaction, I'd really like for it to be something fulfilling where you leave inspired and excited. Yeah, absolutely. And like even with work and all the different things, it's like being around people you have to water yourself down for. It's just not my thing anymore. But I did it for so long. We're both kids with last names that kind of defined us for a long time. Very much so. Still do. And so that was going to be one. See, I don't need to look at my stuff. I got them here. But it kind of goes with that because I think, at least for me, my experience, I want to know if yours is the same, is that because everybody knows your parents or your family or whatever, they expect certain things from you. Standard, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel like sometimes that's exhausting?
Yes and no. I feel like I take so much pride in that, and it comes so naturally, like that legacy, that the exhausting part, I guess, is like, yes, wanting to live up to it or make sure that I fulfill that honor or something by the time I'm at the end of my life. But I mean, my parents are still rocking and rolling. My sister, my brother, like everybody's got their thing and their stamp with our name on it, you know?
Yeah.
And that part I do feel comes naturally, but I guess there is a certain amount of stress that comes with like fulfilling some sort of expectation that everyone else has of me, even on those days where I don't have it to give. Or on the days where I'm off, like switches off for whatever reason.
No, absolutely. I feel like I'm in a very similar boat. It's like sometimes you just want to say fuck it.
There are days where I want to go off and the comments on a post that maybe no one will ever see, but maybe they will. But I'm like, oh, and then I'll delete or like hold back on sharing a reel that's a little too controversial or whatever because of that. And it, you know what, that little voice does show up of like, Mijita, remember, like, you know, we have a reputation to uphold, especially my mom too, this reputation, and you got to keep it real, which is good because it's probably saved me from a lot of trouble, you know, censoring myself to a certain extent. Although anyone who's had a deep conversation with me knows that there's not much of a censor in real life. I actually don't know when to shut up. But,
speaking of saving me from trouble, I made sure that we had my dad represented behind you.
My guy, Renee from the good old days. There it is. Let's just pan over to this. Who did this?
I don't know. One of his clients that he helped get out of jail for graffiti.
I kind of love how her fate, Lady Liberty's all.
Yeah.
Do you see her like show that face? She's like,
yeah,
I got you.
When I cleaned out all the stuff up here, I found that. I found a couple. There was like 3 different things from different artists that painted my dad for his name or something. So it's kind of
Your dad's such a good guy. So many great memories of him, and it's just his outgoing personality, very similar to you. And myself, I think that's why we got along even back then before I truly even knew who I was. But when I was 15, Renee had to help me with some things.
We're just
going to say that. If you have access to that information, that's on you. But
I'm sure they're sealed.
Right. Those documents are sealed.
I'm sure he made sure they disappeared.
Right.
And speaking of my dad, when I first met you, even though we went to the same high school, you were younger. You are younger, but so I didn't meet you at school. I met you in a bar with our parents, and it was because I was driving around with your uncle Pepe. I don't know. Every time your uncle came to town, we would drive around, and he would say, "Mija, find me some kids I can inspire." I'd be like, "All right, Pepe, let's go," and I would take him places.
That gives me goosebumps because he's still like that.
He would be like, "Do you have any gangsters or anyone I could talk to?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I always volunteered, so I would take him. And that day, I think we talked to a whole gym of kids, and all the kids showed up wearing their Scarface shirts because he was in Scarface.
Right, which none of them should have even seen at that age, but it's fine.
They were in middle school, so no, they should not have. And then he was like, "Hey, my niece is playing at this wine bar." And I'm like, "Okay, let's go." And so me and my parents went, and that's where I first
was that the Vineyard?
Yes.
Wow, that was one of my all-time favorite gigs. I feel like that's where I was just like kind of up and coming, but at the beginning of my career where everybody would come show love and support, and my parents would show up together. They still show up together, but it's just really meaningful at that age to be able to do something like that. So that's cool. I don't remember our origin story.
Yes, that was because I was like, "Your niece sings?" Like I had no idea at that point. Like it was really cool that that's how I met you.
That is very cool. And look at us now, all these years later, and inadvertently we closer and closer in the same circle and have interacted so much and done so many cool things together.
And then when it comes to how you said that we are very similar to my dad, can you please share with the audience what song reminds you of my dad? There's no censor here. It's okay.
Okay. I wish I could remember all the stuff leading up to it, but it's, I don't mess with you, little stupid ass, I'm messing with you. There's a mantra of things I'd rather do than to be with you. I don't give up. Dude, that was so much fun. That was at the ranch. That song was a hit. It still is. That's one of those.
But that's when it had first hit.
Yes. And that like triggers my core memories every time I hear it. I know there's that reel that went really popular and viral with the dad dancing with the daughter, but that's mine. Like,
parenting goal.
If I could have clicked record in that moment, He just lit up. It was so funny.
He thought it was the funniest
Best
thing.
song ever. It is. It's one of the best. It's on my top.
And then he was singing it as he would pass your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
Like,
I love it.
He always had your back, man.
Yeah, he's all, I got you, girl. That's a lovely memory, and that's one of my biggest memories of him, besides sitting in a large table with him working on a plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
escape plan.
Yes, an escape plan.
Yeah, no, I love that.
That was beautiful. Was it Lolita Ranch?
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Do you ever feel like you take, because I think with my dad, one thing that was what was different from us is he didn't worry about social media or the internet or anything like that. So he acted, I mean, he didn't give a fuck.
Right.
Like he lived by that. Those lyrics exemplify who he was.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you because you're in the public eye so much, like having to?
I give so many Fs, which is why I can't just say it, because I say it all the time home. I do.
I know nobody here has ever stopped themselves from saying fuck.
I think
you're the first.
It's me on camera, me in real life. Maybe at a gig you'll hear me spit it out, but I censor just because you never know who's going to see it. You know,
Absolutely.
I've got my nieces and nephews following me and stuff online, so it's a good example. But they know me in real life too. Anyway, so what was the question? Do I find myself?
Is it hard having to be like in the public eye and then like being yourself? Like it's like,
Yeah.
do you ever feel like you're wearing a mask?
Sometimes, and almost like a mask on the fun me more than the opposite. I'm kind of like going through that right now because I'm approaching 40 and sort of reevaluating where I'm at in life and what do I stand for and where have I come from. And I have high expectations for myself. So I'm like, what am I kicking ass at right now? Because if it's not anything noteworthy, then now I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Why? So yeah, I do feel like I'm sort of in a place where, especially because of social media, when I do loosen up, when I do my Latina character or when I go off about this and that, that's more well received. I think because people can see that I'm truly free and being myself. Yeah, versus when I do find myself censoring or editing things in a way that I feel people want to receive them or want to perceive me, that doesn't get as much action. And sometimes it's really hard for me to lean into that silliness. And I don't know, like I said, if it's my age or that I'm a mom now or that I worry about what could, be seen by others. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I love watching Kat Sickler, I think is her last name, that real funny. I've shared her videos recently. She's just a really quirky girl who has like millions and millions of followers, but she just does silly characters. She imitates her mom and does like a Latina voice. She makes fun of just relationship stuff, but I love how candid she is. And I guess I feel that I haven't branded myself enough in that way for it to be consistent and well received all the time. So I always go back and forth about that. And honestly, I think the answer at the end of the day is do you. I always tell people, you do you and your people will come. Stop trying to find the people that you think you want because they're not for you. And they may like your stuff every once in a while, but those are not your people. Your people are the ones that love you when you are in your element, when you're in your light. And so I have to make a conscious decision to do that more often.
Hence why I branded overachieving shit show.
Yeah.
My shit's not always working. I sometimes come from Pilates, like right now, I'm a little sweaty and shiny, and I'm like, it's okay because it's me. This is the real me.
Yes, for sure.
I'm never 100% put together. Something's always off, and so I'm like, I liked that I was able to build a brand around it because I think it was
for you too.
I think it was refreshing.
It's perfect, and I don't tune into too many podcasts, but I love what you're sharing on social and the clips that you share. I just vibe with it so much, and not just because it's you. It could be anybody, like some random woman that I found online, but just the content you share, I can identify with it so much. And so, yeah, I really love that. And I think that's great.
Well, thank you. So when we do, we talk about burnout so much. How do you know when you're starting to get burnt out? Like, what are your signs?
I get very snippy and anxiety. My heart races faster. I rush through things in general. My husband always teases me because he's like, I'm handing him something and I'm already looking away at the next thing. And he's like, why do you do that? Because I end up dropping it or whatever. And I'm like, that's how I multitask. How do you think I get so much shit done? It's because I'm already on the next thing when I'm finishing the other one, which I take so much pride in. But there's other times where I'm like, slow down. This isn't a race. We're not going anywhere. So my concern is please let me not have a heart attack at the age of 40, because I guess I know that I'm capable of it. I've been doing this my whole life. but I need to be mindful not only of like my age and my health, but how is this physically affecting me now? Because I never felt this type of anxiety or stress or increased heart rate or kind of a little panic that I'll go into sometimes. And there's nothing specific that's really pulling at me.
It's just like a sense of dread. There's so many things.
Yeah, there are so many things, and it's balancing multiple jobs and being a mother and wanting to, I want to do music. I want to get back to painting. I want to do this. I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better wife. I want to stay relevant. I don't want anyone to know who I am anymore. I just want to be
all the contradictions inside yourself
constantly. And I think everybody knows what that feels like. But yeah, I just notice it more in my physical reaction, I guess, is my telltale. I'll be very snippy. And if you hear me clanking dishes around in the kitchen really loud and aggressively, that's usually like, okay, she's in her mood. Let's let her.
So I asked our friend Vern when I last talked to her, I said, I was like, you lived with Clarissa. Y'all been friends forever.
What did she say?
I said, what is her one sign that you could tell she's super stressed out? And she said, and I quote, she responded right away and said, honestly, Clarissa never really flips out.
I don't.
She said Clarissa doesn't freak out. She schedules herself for too much shit and she'll be late to stuff, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So she had she had nothing.
She's really cool on it.
Yeah, so she had no like big. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I've always been able to keep it pretty chill. It's just lately I'm noticing a more physical reaction where I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to this. My body's trying to tell me something, right? Probably the only person who ever sees me lose my shit is my husband. And it's usually the accumulation of so many things where he's like, babe, like, just chill out. Tell me to chill. I don't do that. Right, babe? I just kind of, honestly, get more emotional than anything. I don't yell and freak out and attack people. It hits me and I just want to cry. And it's usually around time that Tia Flo is in town as well.
Yeah.
And that's what it hits me. And I don't know. I feel like I do self-manage a lot of it.
Well, that was actually gonna be my next question. What do you do to like take care of yourself? Like when it comes to your mental health or like not freaking out when you have, how many jobs do you have right now?
Law firm, real estate, music, kind of the content creation. That's like those are the top 4, I guess. But what I do is I'm learning to say no to things. That's been the biggest and most empowering thing lately is I don't need to be everywhere at once. I have very different priorities these days. I just want to be present for my children and be a present wife. I'm very in the like, YOLO, this could all be gone tomorrow mindset every single day. I pray, I get emotional about it. I'll be like, please God, give me, a million years to be with my baby and keep everybody healthy and all those things. So ADD, I forgot the question.
How do you take care of yourself?
Oh.
Do you have any toxic coping skills?
I don't even, what is coping? Like, I don't know.
Like to deal with your stress.
I guess I unplug. We'll do some Netflix and chill. My family we do kind of maybe too much screen time. We eat dinner in front of the TV more often than I'd like, which I also stress myself out about because I'm like, this isn't good. We need to sit at the table. But that's kind of like
okay. So if you're not going to give it a bad habit, I have one that I know you have an answer.
What is it? Okay.
I don't know the answer, but I know you'll have an answer. When you're super stressed out, and we all stress eat at one point or another, what is your like go-to comfort like meal? Like you're stressed out and your husband can see, and let's say you wish he would just give you a plain food.
Anything Asian. Sushi, Chinese, Thai. If I could only pick one style of food, it would be Asian, which is kind of cheating because there's many different variations in there. If you say Spanish, there's not as many variations. There's going to be rice and beans, Yeah. But I guess, if there is a certain food, one thing that I do when it comes to food, when he's not around, when he's on shift, is when it's just me and Olivia and he's at work, I'm not going to do meal prep. My guilty pleasure is ramen noodles, and I'll heat up some dumplings. There's some huevitos in there, some protein.
I know you make
it spicy.
How do you make it spicy? How do you make your ramen?
My mouth is watering. Hot oil and sriracha all over. And then if it's anything that's not Asian, I usually have a serrano pepper. So I cannot have a meal without something spicy. And then just to elaborate on that a little more, My mom's still ordering. I use the scorpion Tabasco sauce in my breakfast tacos, which is probably absolutely toxic for my.
I'm a Mexican, so I don't even.
None of it.
I mean, I'll put a little bit. Like I'll put a little bit.
Really?
Up here and there, but I'm a wuss when it comes to super spicy.
Spicy anything. I don't know what, man. I guess my comfort is just let me unplug for a little while, or if I do get I've been working on a puzzle this summer. I bought it for my son. It was supposed to be an us thing, but I'm the only one who's working on the puzzle. It's a tough puzzle. It's like 1,000 pieces, and that's been my thing. I lost a good friend a few months ago, and that was kind of when I started it, and that was a little bit of like my coping. So it's been on my table, and I'll visit it every once in a while and leave my daughter, like I'm watching her and she's doing Danny Go dancing and my husband's doing his thing or whatever. It's cool. And I'll just dip out and I do the puzzle for a minute, and it allows me to hyper focus on finding a certain pattern, and I'm not able to think of anything.
I started with the paint by numbers.
Those are good
The
too.
paint by numbers will keep my mind busy.
Yeah.
But so I'm not stressed out.
Yeah. So that's probably my biggest coping. I wish I could say music. It should be music way more. I just haven't found like I have all these little different setups for myself. I just haven't been leaning into that, and I really need to more often. My biggest holdup was my nails. I wanted bougie nails, so I can't wait till I would. But anyway, so coping mechanisms, I would say like exercise when I can. Just me time, like honestly, just give me like an hour to myself and let me like doom scroll or like tweeze my mustache or like whatever I want to do to be with myself, watch a show.
I think like to recharge.
And then my other one would just be quality time. When I get a good like hour or two with my sister, my niece, or solo time with my husband, or just when I finally get to regurgitate all the things I've been holding in or the things that are stressing me out, usually that makes me feel validated.
That's one thing about your family. Your family is a very big support system for y'all. I love the way that y'all support each other. Even for your last birthday, when we went to Drunken Noodles, and the way your nephew got up to perform, and then everyone was like, "We gotta hear Clarissa's new song." You know, they'll all support each other no matter what.
And that was my effort to do the smallest celebration I possibly could. And we had about like 40 friends there.
The whole restaurant.
It was a big ass group, but that was so meaningful. And that was me trying to compress, like I said, my group to celebrate something. I'm super grateful at how many incredible friends and even just acquaintances, I guess you could say, maybe people I'm not around all the time, but it's genuine and it's solid. And I know not everybody has that. And at the same token, I'll look online and see other girls that have these huge girl groups and they're aesthetic and they do themed parties, and I'm like, God, I just want to be her so bad. But I'm like way too type B, C, D, E, F, G for that period. Nothing about me really is ever aesthetic.
No, when these big groups are all wearing the same colors, or prints, or hats, and posing, and I'm just like, so you have to plan what you're gonna wear ahead of time.
Girl,
like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel that day.
I know that it truly blows my mind. And as much as I want to be that type of person, I admire it so much. I admire type A people. Like, wow, I'm just not there. I'm in another line on the other side of the building, and that's okay. We can have. I don't know how much respect they have for type B. We probably get on their nerves like a mofo, right?
Mike still thinks he's like, you're not born this way. You just don't pick up fuck. Yeah,
he is.
He gets real annoyed with me.
Yeah,
he's like, you don't even know where your kids. I mean, that's how this started. Was I was gonna give a real big. Oh, you were at that speech.
I was there. I was there when it was born. Yeah.
And so, you know, like I couldn't find anything, and he's just sipping his coffee, looking at me like just with disgust. He says it wasn't disgust, but I felt it.
You felt disgusting.
Yeah, and he was just like, you don't know where anything is. Like, how are you such a shit? You have a PhD and you never know where anything is. And I'm like, that was on the test.
I feel like at least 50% or more of the most accomplished people in this entire world are overachieving shit shows. Are type B, C, D, did not come in with the plan, but the magic that's in them just comes out. That's a real. That's a good one.
No, I totally feel that though, because it's the adaptability. I can adapt to any situation. You can too. You just like.
You really can. I take so much pride in that. I'm gonna put me in a room. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's a problem. That's cool. We'll fix it. Just a while ago, we were having issues, and it was like, you can always like find different ways around.
So I'm like, give me a handkerchief, an avocado, a tablespoon, and a bag of rice. I got you, and we'll figure it out. I thrive in those settings.
Yeah.
Put me on Survivor. I think I do good in Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need chones and like a bath, but besides that, I think I could really survive.
Good for you. Okay. What would you say is one of your biggest shit show moment? While you think about it, I'll explain that for us as counselors or, people whose jobs aren't in front of people, not many people see our shit show moments.
Right.
But for you, so much is seen, not only with social media and things, but performing. I'm sure you've had moments where you've gone on stage and had a moment. Like,
a lot of those.
Are there any that you mind sharing?
Yeah.
Don't mind sharing.
Well, I mean, not proud of it, but she's a party girl, right? And so
we have an app that can't close.
Yes, absolutely. So there's been parts where, maybe I've enjoyed a couple of tequila shots and gotten like emotional on stage, or even have my band be like, let's call it a night, which not proud of that, but here we are. Full transparency.
You used to be a Jaeger.
Jaeger
girl. Like,
which is hilarious because back then I'd be like, all you have to do is buy a shot and I'll give you the shirt. And they're like, absolutely not. And I was like, how about you buy me a shot and I'll give you the shirt? And that's, and that was it. And now if you even say Jaeger, I'm like, absolutely not, which is funny because back then they're like, Jaeger ruined my life. What do you mean? It tastes so good. Sorry, not sponsored by Jaeger because it's disgusting.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That was nasty. But I would say more recently, and it's still related to music, is my baby girl. There's a carbon copy of me with the good little of her dad. But she's a little entertainer at heart, and she sings along with me, and we do share an appreciation for music, even though she says she's going to be a painter, not a singer when she grows up. Okay, girl. But there have been several situations where, and thank God, most of the time my husband's there to kind of manage it. But she's so used to participating in those things with me that when it comes time to go on stage and be in a professional setting, sometimes she throws a shit fit because she wants to be with me. And that puts me into a panic because I'm trying to balance being a good mother and patient and understanding, and then also being aware of where the line is of professionalism and leaving a good taste in the person's mouth of the experience with me, right? So one example was when I sang the national anthem for the opening of the new bridge, and we were some of the first people on there, and I was graciously granted permission with a little bit of negotiations to bring Juan and Olivia. And it was hot. It was so hot up there. No shade. But again, all these officials and professional people, and I mean, for all I know, this could lead me to the next big gig, right? So leave a good impression. But she got separation anxiety and started panicking when I had to go to the stage and freaking out. So again, it's not only how I manage it in real life, but it's also the fact that when I'm managing it, I have an audience. And so people are looking at how I react. And so are they judging me on my professionalism, or are they judging me on how I am as a mother, or both? And so a lot of times I'll look back in retrospect and beat myself up about how I handled something. And, either I wasn't professional enough and I catered to her too much, or I wasn't kind to my daughter. I think I always am. I don't know. I just always worry. The same thing at my niece's quinceañera. I was singing a duet. We had been practicing forever, and it was the Bruno Mars Risk It All. So I had practiced that to the bone, and Olivia had it just as memorized as I did. But it's a duet with somebody else, and so I needed to make sure I hit my parts and harmonies, which I'm not great at harmonies. I was worried about that. Anyway, we're doing the performance. I was anxious about it all night. I was so ready to get it over with so I could party. And I closed my eyes. I'm like, lock in, girl. You know the lyrics. Sing from the heart. Well, I close my eyes and my baby girl comes and runs into my leg. She's trying to give me a hug while I'm up there singing on the stage. Yeah. And it threw me off. And I open my eyes and I see that she's there, and all the words left my mind. And the song is still going and all her friends are there. It's her big moment. And this is me singing the song is the intro to us presenting her with Bruno Mars tickets. That was her quinceañera surprise. So don't screw this up, Aunt Sassy. And girl, she came up. I messed up the words. I kind of made some up to fill in the spot. And then I took some of his lines, and it was kind of all a mess. And girl, afterwards, I almost went to the bathroom and cried. I was like, I ruined it. It was horrible. How embarrassing. All her friends were there and they know I'm her singer aunt. Now they're going to think I'm an idiot. And I ruined the announcement. Oh my gosh. And it almost threw off my entire night. And thank God Juan was there to be like, hey, it's all good. You know, you could tell that she bumped into you and it threw you off track a second, but I didn't notice anything with your singing or the song. And that was really hard to get over. But thank God I was able to throw it away. And then even the next morning, I had that regret. He got it all on video and he sent it to me. And I was like, I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to watch that.
Do you watch yourself? I never watch myself. I
honestly,
never watched the podcast after she edits.
That's me on my shows. I've been in TV for 7 years. Yeah, I've been on I've had Coastal Living forever, and very rarely would I watch it. Not that I didn't know it was a good show, but I'm almost like giving myself the ick.
Okay, I'm really curious about this. What artist was your biggest inspiration?
Ooh, growing up, I'll give you 5. Selena, obviously.
I was kind of scared you weren't going to put her first. If you didn't put her first, I don't know. I think it would be over.
No shade to her. I don't know if she was number 1 because I have to admit I did not know who I was only like 7 or 8 when she passed. I didn't truly know who she was until after.
You knew the music because your parents probably played it.
Here and there. But once I knew her, I was all in. I would put on my folklorico dress and I would perform her songs for my grandma in full Spanish, having no idea what I was saying. I was on it. So besides her, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Leanne Rimes, and there's one more.
What's that?
A few of those. Yeah, I went a little heavy on it was like 5, 6. Yeah. All of them. Powerhouse vocals.
I like it. Those are powerhouse vocals. Okay, so what do you do when you don't want to be noticed?
I don't know.
Or do you not care?
I think I always enjoy being noticed. It's special. I'll cry even saying that. It means a lot to me to be significant enough to somebody. My favorite, and I'll make this a PSA, is when I'm somewhere now and I just hear the vowels and I'm like, did they just say? And of course, I'm not going to be like, yes, it's me. Hello. So I disregard it, or if they say it loud enough, like they want me to hear it, I'll give a smirk, like a welcoming, please just say hi. Come tap me on the shoulder and say hi. And if you want a picture, we'll do a picture. If you have questions, we'll do the questions. But
can I tell you my favorite time?
What?
At my bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
So my bachelorette party, it's 2014. And so we were on the cruise.
Right.
And everyone kept being like, I voted for you on The Voice.
Right. Oh, people recognize me on the cruise?
You don't remember? People kept being like, I voted for you.
And I would be like, I didn't make it to the voting rounds.
Yeah.
Nobody voted for me. I think there was something online where people felt like they were voting for me, but they didn't. My favorite is when they say, I saw you on American Idol. And I'm like, really? You didn't. You did not. It was The Voice. But, I love when people say that, though, because, again,
they voted for you.
They're voting for me just by saying that, and all these years later, the funny thing is when people used to tell me, you should try out for a show or something, I specifically remember at Revo telling people, I just don't want to be that girl from The Voice. That I meant that, but I also, in my head, was like, I'll never make it on a show like that, so let me come up with an excuse, right? But I'm totally that girl from The Voice. All these years later, people are like,
it was cool. It was so cool the way Corpus rallied around
big time.
The shirts, the support, the posts. People were really cheering you on from all different places.
I'm still on a high from that. That was so cool. And the neatest thing is to see how I've evolved and people still rally for me in all these other ways. They support my show or they'll go to my little gigs that I have now and then. My gigs. I'm trying to downplay myself. And it's really special. Just so y'all know, that lives with me every day.
That is amazing.
For that. Yeah.
What is your favorite song to cover?
Ooh, favorite song? Well, I have played out Valerie to the bone because my sister's name is Valerie, and I just love Amy Winehouse. I love Killing Me Softly. My latest faves are Teddy Swims, Lose Control. That's a good one. I enjoy doing Forgot About Dre. It's a medley that we do, and it's Say My Name mixed with The Weeknd, whatever that song. You only call me when it's up. So we medley Say My Name, that song, and Forgot About Dre.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean, I'm singing a lot of words. I need to count how many words are in that whole thing. I run out of breath. It's like 8 minutes long, but when I rap, people are all, what? And I just love that. I love that I have it memorized. I love that like everybody stops what they're doing. Like, is this chick seriously rapping right now? And
do it.
I want to hear it.
You want to hear it? Okay. Y'all know me, still the same OG, but I've been low key, hated on by mosties with no cheese, no deals and no skis, no kills, no keys, no mobiles and no skis. Mad at me because I can finally afford to provide my family with groceries. Got a crib with a studio and it's all full of tracks to add to the wall full of plaques, hanging up in the back of my office like trophies. Y'all think I'm gonna let my dough freeze? Oh please, better bow down on both knees. Who you think taught you to smoke trees? Who you think taught you to OGs, Easy E's, Ice Cubes, and DOCs, Snoop Double G's, and the group that said, "But up the police."
I'll say the Rovers.
Takes for the dope beats, but when it's shown in the hood, and when album sales one doing too good, who's the doctor that told you to go see? Y'all better listen up closely. They said that a turn pop on a firm flop. Y'all are the reason that Dre and Big get no sleep. So y'all, all of y'all, if y'all don't like me, y'all keep messing around with me and turn me back to the old me. Nowadays, everybody want to talk because they got something to say, and that comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and what if it's that? But they forgot about Dre.
Yeah, like I do that one too, but you have your own rhythm. And I was like, I can't.
I'm on a lot of caffeine right now.
I can't jump in there, and I would say all the words. I can't do it. I can't bleep. I don't have that.
Oh, well, see, because sometimes I'm doing it like
you need to. I'm just saying, I wouldn't
yeah.
be able to do that.
I do it at a lot of events where it's probably not even appropriate to like.
Okay,
so
the speaking of not appropriate, I still have beef with you about taking down my favorite of your songs off of YouTube when you first started making it big.
I did take it down.
You took down my favorite. My favorite song to watch you perform was "I'm Fat," and you took it down, and it really hurt.
I went through a lot of work to get that song off.
I know.
I had it up, and I reached out to them. I was like, "Please take the song down."
And I was like, "Why did you do that?"
I don't remember.
I used to like play it and make people. I'd be like, "Have you ever heard Clarissa sing I'm Fat? Have you ever heard her impersonate Vern?"
Well, because the girl that did that song was not Clarissa. That was the Jägermeister alter ego of Clarissa. And the song was I'm Fat with a PH. And I don't remember all the words, but it was something like, I'm fat, I'm down with that. Yeah, I love my cheeseburgers, my french fries and shit. I'm fat, I'm fat. And I would imitate my roommates and make fun of Vern, Turtle Vern. And the problem with that one, I think, was me worried about whether or not that would like line up.
No, I totally see.
It was also like a 30-minute freestyle. And the things that were said in there and the amount of
like there was a lot of political incorrectness. I could
probably things that definitely could have come back and bit me. If anybody, nobody's looking into me that much, and please don't use that as like encouragement to do so. But it was just to be proactive, I guess.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You're probably the however many views that it had
fan.
on there. You're the one. Yeah, you had like 100 comments. Those are the
Sarah
days.
Kim, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you were talking about the Asian food, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I freaking love it. I've always loved it. And so does Olivia. She loves Chinese noodles.
Oh,
right now, just the noodles for now.
Well, that's cute. But so I understand. It was a good time. That was a good time period.
Yeah, it's almost like
the fact that we lived through it.
Yes,
we lived through that time period.
We survived the sleepovers and the girls' nights out and the
many bad choices.
So many things. I truly do thank God every day for allowing me to survive all that. It's beautiful to be on this side of it, and it sure was fun being in that boat too. But it's crazy that we're here,
right?
And what's gonna get us? And we're gonna die from something stupid.
To us.
Yeah, it's like I tripped on a,
But I do think that a lot of those experiences made us who we are, and I think that holding on to that authenticity and never pretending that we were perfect little angels or anything. We all had the M's that we had to scrub off of our hands. We all dated.
Or just knew the right people at the door to get us
the back
in.
entrances.
We've always been connected. Sorry, we're great at networking.
I used to be able to get myself backstage, VIP, whatever.
We still can't.
Well, I know, but like back then, how? I just acted like.
Because we knew what to do.
I remember one time the first time I went to South by Southwest, I pretended I was Ceci. I tell her this all the time. I was like literally saying I was with the DJ and that I was Ceci. And I don't know. I feel like we both just either knew the right people or just acted like we did.
It's manifesting. And it's, I don't know. I do take pride in that. And sometimes I don't get what I want. But I feel like we're really good at navigating through things and finding a way. And it's not even by like begging or being entitled or any of those things. I think it's just finessing things the correct way.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to wait in a line. I'd rather leave.
Right. And I've had to teach my husband that because he's very much the rule follower. And I'm like, we ask for forgiveness. We don't ask for permission.
I actually said that to my husband yesterday. He was like, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah. It works though. I'm like, we'll do stuff. And then we get in there and I'm like, you see how we did that? Yeah. And I teach my kids the same thing. Olivia is so chingona. And there's times where I catch myself trying to censor it. And then I realize like, this cannot be censored. I need to leave it this way because she's a baddie. And I need to like let her embrace that and let it grow into what it's going to grow into. Because there's definitely, I'm also a very, to a fault, a people pleaser and non-confrontational, again, to a fault, where I'll absorb things and it's unhealthy. So I'm learning in my ripe age of almost 40 to be a little bit more outspoken and verbal about things that bother me or things I don't want to do. But my daughter does not do that. So I'm going to empower her as much as I possibly can.
Okay, so now we're gonna end with the rapid. See, I actually wrote questions for this part. Okay, so it's the first answer that comes to your head. All right, so what's your biggest red flag? Yours.
In a relationship or just
in general?
People.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
What makes you feel better? Cheese man or real therapy?
Real therapy.
Do you mute somebody or confront them when they piss you off?
Mute.
Do you people please or do you rage clean?
Both.
That's what I figured.
Both.
You're stressed out. Nap or a cocktail?
Cocktail. Many of them.
Cocktail or cafecito?
Cocktail.
I
love my coffee, but cocktail to relax.
What is one thing that you've said no to recently? Like a responsibility or something to help with your boundaries?
I would say like gigs and like maybe public speaking opportunity or something like that.
Okay. Last one. On the level of burnout, are you like a fresh homemade H-E-B tortilla or are you Charlie Brown? Where are you at?
Like today?
Yeah.
I'm a fresh tortilla.
I like that.
I feel good. This has been a good week. And that's because I've got a lot coming up. I'm looking at my next week and I'm coordinating. So my thing is that now I've got this job with the high law firm and my boss has a gajillion things going on that I'm also, so it's like I manage my gajillion things and then I participate in helping him manage his.
Yeah.
And so that's like a whole other tier on the cake. And so there are certain weeks where I've told my husband, I'm like, if I have music, real estate, and my 9-to-5 law firm things all happening at one time and they're all busy, that's usually when I go into panic mode. So what I've learned to do is let one or two sit on the sidelines or schedule my life appropriately so that they each can have their attention when needed. So even in real estate, as much as I'd love to be like, selling 100 houses a month, I only take on what I know I can handle. Because
you're getting good at saying no.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You need that. Yeah, it feels good. So yeah, it's this week I feel really good, and I just try to keep gratitude in the driver's seat. Truly, I mean, I can't even count 5 things that suck in my life, and that's a blessing. I mean, I can make up some shit, but that's such a blessing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All is good in the world. Somebody told me recently, and now I see reels about it, but like, being in that sweet spot where like everybody's healthy, everybody's good. It's a bubble and it doesn't last forever. And so being mindful of that bubble, and embracing it and just being full of gratitude every day for it, I think is a great way to fill your cup.
I like that. I think that's a great place to end. So thank you, Clarissa, for being here today. Even though it was a little hot. You were a little late, but it's okay.
45 minutes. I always pride myself in like, I'll be late, but 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not going to waste your time. But today was too much.
It's okay. Sorry. We had so many things going wrong. We needed that.
Okay. Time. Good. I was feeling, so that's another thing I do is like when I'm running late, I put myself into panic. And so then everything bad happens, right? Like your hook then gets stuck in the door and you spill your coffee and you realize you didn't put mascara on your bottom lashes or you didn't put on deodorant. And it's like boom, 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 because you're so in that energy. And it's mostly when I'm running late, which is all the time, because I can wake up 6 hours early for it, or I can get up 6 minutes before. I'm going to be the same amount of late usually. So that's the thing. I think that's the biggest driver of my panic is being late for things and hauling ass to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that anxiety that I have the whole time that I'm hauling ass, which is not a good thing. So even over here, I was like, Kate understands. Take a deep breath. She would have let me know if we needed to reschedule or if it was that big of a convenience. She would have told me, I'm not going to get fired from this. We're okay. Life will keep going. And yeah,
I think that's a good little mantra too when you're running late.
I have to talk myself through that like almost every time.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you. We'll schedule cocktails soon.
Yes, please. Please, and thank you. Love it.
All right. Thank you for being here.